Now, just in case you think that my writing career is over, you are wrong. I've just finished, and indeed it is at the printers at this very moment, my latest book called Foldy, Roldy, Patchwork Pzzazz. And you might say to yourself, that's a very silly title. Why? Well, this is the mock-up of the book. This is my little red book. And Foldy, Roldy, Patchwork Pzzazz. This is the very rough print-off from my fairly cheap and inexpensive printer. The real book is going to be so wow with colour, so full of pizzazz. The reason why I haven't got an I in pizzazz, because my mate Valerie said, "No, you haven't got an I in pizzazz," is I didn't like it. So I decided, why do I have to have it? Foldy Roldy because it's all about folds, and the folds are obviously rolled. It's patchwork because it's piecing, and it's pizzazz because it's got wow factor. All the ideas in this book come from 12 blocks that I have designed. They're either old blocks with a new take, or they are completely new blocks that I have designed. And the blocks are all presented as 12-inch squares, and there are 12 of them, so it's ideal for a block of the month quilt if you so wish to do it. Perhaps your shop or your guild might like to do that. What I did this time, very different format from my previous books. There are still touches of humour. I have to confess, I do not write 100% seriously. But this time I have gone for all photographs. So every stage is photographed, so you can see exactly what it's going to look like. There are very few diagrams. It is 99% photographs. I think there are about 450 photographs in the book. 1 or 2 diagrams. And at the end of each of the chapter, there's a little bit of extended advice about what you can do with the chapter and various ideas that you can go with it and expand and play with the idea. There's also the occasional funny story, and you can read about why you mustn't cook leeks in your hotel kettle and what happens when you wear a handkerchief skirt and inadvertently quite a lot of the handkerchief gets stuck in the hotel door. You have to buy the book to read what happened. So this is the new book. It's a photographic layout. It's full of Jennie's, well, say Jennie's, the usual sort of pizzazz. It's got lots of hints in it, lots of techniques in it, bits of jokes, humour, and hopefully it is clear, easy to understand. What's it got in it? Okay, let's get rid of the book and what it's got in it. It has a project using a version of the Dresden plate where you can make a bag with a flat bottom and just a seam down one side. And it is one seam one side, one seam the other, got a flat bottom. Oh, to have a flat bottom quite so easily. You could do it with, say, a stripy fabric. And on this little bag here, we have a stripy fabric on one side and indeed another stripy on another. So it's got that sort of bag in it. This is a very different bag, and it features the block called Trumpet Cracker. And this is basically a shopping bag, but the lining is all made in one piece, and there's a natty trick to that. But you might not want to do a bag, you might want to do a quag. And this is a quag. Now, this quag is just shown as a picture in the book. The real quag that is made is the quilt that is to my right. This turns into a quag, which is why, if you're wondering why there's a handle hanging out down the bottom, that's because it's a quag. What's a quag? A quag's a quilt that turns into a bag. And if you opened out this little bag, you would find there's a quilt, and you'll have to read the book to find out. It's got various ideas for cushion. And here we have a cushion here showing the bias board around here, and again the Trumpet Cracker block. What I've tried to do is take each block and do a project with it as well. On this small hanging we have 3 of the blocks, which you could have as a table runner or as a small hanging. I've taken the centre of one of the blocks and made it into this little quilt. Now this little quilt is so useful. I had it out for the royal wedding because it's British colours, red, white and blue. And it's got love on the corners. I take it with me to the States because it's American colours of the flag and it's got love on the corners, and I can say, I love America. When I'm going to visit Russia, as I might be doing in the future, I can take this with me because it's Russian colours and I love Russia. I do like things that do lots and lots of uses. Another little hanging or a bed headboard, they're again done in calico. So you can take the ideas, you can put them together as a quilt, like the quilt that's behind me. You can put them together for a hanging, for a bag. You could even use a cushion. And there we have Girondelle, that particular block used as a cushion. A couple of other cushions here, again featuring blocks that are in the book. And indeed a very simple cushion here with the simplest sort of patchwork, the 8-pointed star, all done from squares. And my favourite, I really think this is favourite, and this is a class that I'll be teaching a lot of, because I think Scrappy Zappy Doo is a seriously nice piece of work. And you can find all these ideas in, wait for it, Foldy Roly Patchwork Pzzazz, the 7th tome by no less than the world's only twiddler, fiddler, nipper, tucker, manipulator, manoeuvre material, Jennie Rayment. Thank you.